Hey Quick Players, welcome back to another episode of Quickplay. Today we're playing Avernum 3 Ruined World, obviously the third in the series. You don't have to have played the first two to enjoy this game. There's not a lot of lore that you have to know between the games, and everything that happens is explained to you at the start. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. And this is Avernum 3. So, firstly, this is an obviously isometric. It is a role-playing game. Here are the characters that I've created in the top left-hand corner here. When the game starts, you obviously create your characters and you can assign different traits, but as you progress, you'll level up. Here's my character on level 7. Stats like strength, dexterity, etc. And here is the skill tree that you can build as you play the game, divided into two major sort of combat and magic, and then there's traits, so you can add additional traits to each of your characters as you level up. Leveling up is a case of beating bad guys and solving quests, so pretty much standard role-playing game fare. Here we are wandering through the town of Farport. So as you can see, it's very simple. Graphics, I like it. It's very sort of neat and clean interface and clean graphics. So there's no, kind of see exactly what's going on. You can also probably tell that the things around me only move when I move. So it's fully turn-based, and that comes into sort of prominence when you're doing combat or when you're engaged in combat. So I'm going to go see if I can find something to fight so we can see the combat in action. Ooh, there's something right there. What are those? Those are green unicorns. Let's attack them. I don't know if I'll survive this. That's odd. Alright, let's do this. So every character as you're playing through or engaged in combat has action points. Yes, I heard you. And as you move your cursor around, you'll see that it tells you how many action points it's going to take to execute something. So, first character up, let's go and attack a unicorn. Oh, took him down in one shot. Okay, I don't know. She doesn't seem to have any magic spells. What kind of character is this? Gosh. She's got a lot of magic going on here, so why have we not quick loaded all the magic spells? Let's see if we can do that now. Ooh, Bolt of Fire. That sounds like a good one. We'll just stick that in there. And move a little closer and... boom! Bolt of Fire. That was very effective. What kind of character is this? Oh, okay. So usually you wouldn't be checking your character stats between moves. I'm just doing it because I cannot remember any of these characters. And that is symptomatic of the game itself. It's one of those things that you keep... I really don't like that hissing. It's one of those things that you keep in your Steam library or whatever library, and you play it once in a blue moon. And the game lends itself to that. There's a quest journal that kind of explains exactly what you need to do. There isn't any quest markers, so if you're more of a purist that way, if you're tired of games like Skyrim and Fallout telling you exactly where to go and who to talk to, that's not here. You do have to pay attention when people give you quests, and but most of the information is recorded in your quest journal here, and it's fairly easy after a few months of being away from this game to get back into it. Oh, yeah. And okay, so the enemy's having his turn. So we've talked a little bit about the graphics. They're fine. Nothing to write home about. As I said, fairly neat. The sound, as you can probably tell, it's sometimes bad and sometimes fine. Just depends. Ooh, yep. And there's no real soundtrack of which to speak. Occasionally you'll get a small burst of guitar when you enter towns, but otherwise nothing special. So would I recommend this game? It's more of a library filler. There are better isometric RPGs and we'll be playing them over the next week or two, but I can't really say this game's awful. I can't really say this game's brilliant. It's just fine. If you like isometric RPGs, it's probably, and when I say like isometric RPGs, I mean sort of old school, very old school, not like your modern Pillars of Eternity type stuff or Tyranny or any of those. This is from a simpler time, and if you like those sort of old school RPGs like that, this is great. For me, it lacks the depth that a game like Caves of Cud would have, or does have. But on the other side, it lacks the sort of intense story and world building that a game like Tyranny has. I'd love to do a video on Tyranny, actually. If you haven't played Tyranny, really great game. Right, we finished combat. The world is fairly big. This is, in this particular save that I'm showing you, this is what I've uncovered. As you go through the world, you will be able to buy different maps and sort of flesh it out. This is the underground dungeon type place that you start the game in. You start here at Fort Emergence, but there are multiple, multiple. There are tons of quests actually underground here. And then this is the rest of the continent. So it's a fairly big game. Because I played so intermittently, I've probably put about 15 hours into this and not really made a ton of progress. But that counts in the game's favor. There's a lot to do and a lot to see. But nothing that really keeps me engaged for more than 2 or 3 nights before I shelve this and then come back a couple of months later when I'm sick of the other games in my Steam library. So that in a nutshell is Avernum 3. It's cool, but it isn't amazing. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, to subscribe, and to switch on your notifications. Have a good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and I hope to see you soon.